Hi, my name is Julie Bradley. I'd like to discuss with you now how we teach handwriting or lettering to your children. Okay, the third step is adjoining or linking, where we really need this to happen to enable fluency to happen. It's also good motor feedback for the child too, to be able to have that sense of knowing that when they write the word the, they get a nice flow happening and it will feel right. So they'll actually have a long-term memory bank of writing a whole set of words that's just going to feel right to them, that they won't even have to think about how it's happening. It will just be written for them. And it also helps spelling. It's much easier to write the like this and remember it than like this, that's three parts that we have to remember, or like this in upper cursive script. That's even a longer process. So this is the fastest, then that, and then that's really the hardest way to do it. It is a higher brain function to be able to cursive write, so being able to transfer to the linked form is more difficult for many children, but really essential in the learning process. So in the whole process of spelling, we know that we need, if we can't pull a word from our long-term memory bank, we have to go through and try and work out from the information we have in our heads how to write a word. But if we can build up as many words as possible in our memory bank that we can just pull out, it's going to make us much more efficient when we're writing stories or whatever we may be asked to actually write in a test or whatever the situation may be. Now, posture is so important. They have to have feet on the floor. So have a look at your child's desk where they're working most days. We've actually had people in at the start of each year to make sure that the desk height is appropriate for the child and that the chair to floor distance is correct and the chair to desk distance is correct. They really should have their head over the paper, not too close to the paper, but about near point visual distance away. So if they rest the knuckles on their nose, that should be about the distance that they should be positioned from the paper, not leaning over too much and causing stress to the neck. Both arms resting comfortably on the table, one holding the paper and one able to write. So matching the furniture to the child is very, very important. And that means at home when they have to sit at a big high dinner table that they're able to cope as best they can. That maybe we have cushions under them or we have telephone books on the floor to help their feet touch the floor. I know simple things like when we put the children on the bus to take them out on an outing, they get very worried because I say they have to have their backs on the back of the seat from a safety point of view, which means their feet can't touch the floor. So they immediately feel quite mobile in that they've got nothing to secure them to the seat. So it's, we need to be aware as adults if a child really needs to be able to place their feet on the floor to help position themselves and stabilise themselves. Pencil grip we've talked about, control, lots of finger exercises or activities that you do at home which encourage that good muscle strength in their hands so they don't get tired when they're writing. And this is where you can do lots of fun things at home with them that we may not have the time to do so much at school. So kneading bread, doing clay work, sewing with a needle and thread, knitting, anything which is really getting those fingers moving. And they have to develop a style which flows. So the style that I use as an adult may not be the style that you may choose to use as an adult. So as individuals, we do develop our own style to suit how we like to write. So once again, developing automaticity in the child. I don't teach Victorian cursive script because I don't find it easy for a young child as they're learning to read to have to learn to write in a different script. We also know that with Victorian cursive, it teaches in-strokes as well as out-strokes. Whereas when we teach cursive writing, we actually need the child to simply join on to the next letter. So when they finish a letter, they simply join on to the next one. join on to the next one. You have to be aware that some children will add to the join on. So if they're doing went, they might do join, and then they do the next bit, they do the join, then they do the next bit. So you might end up with these funny little pointers in between the letters where they're actually writing, nearly forming another letter in between each letter with the join-ons. So we teach the simple print style, and then we simply teach them to join one letter onto the next one. The last step is really developing that fluency of style so that they are creating a style that suits them, using an implement that suits them. Some children are particularly better with pencils, some maybe with biros or pens, some with a fine point pen. It really is matching the tool to the child so that they're working with a tool that they find easy to use, and also matching the style to the child as well. The things that we do need consistency with is the slope, the size of the letter and the shape of the letter so that we can recognise them. It has to be easy for the child to write and easy for another person to read. So we certainly won't be teaching linking in Year 1, but it will happen as soon as the teachers feel it is possible. We always need to maintain a print style. So if they're writing a card or something, they probably would print on it. So we'll continue to teach printing throughout the years, and it's something that we actually have to teach the children, whether it be printing or lettering or handwriting. It's the same thing, just different versions. It must be taught in a formal lesson. So every day at school you'll see us in some way doing a lesson with them to make sure that their lettering is legible. And we try and make it as meaningful as possible by, perhaps we might use a sentence, or we might use their spelling words or that sort of thing to actually teach it. Now, we will continue to do some tracing, but it won't really continue on as much in the next few months. We'll start to use more writing or copying than actually tracing. Pens or pencils? Well, if you've got a child who has, and this is all dependent on grip, pressure and type of pen or pencil, but children who push too hard, we need to give them a pen. And children who have poor pencil grip, maybe buy them a triangular pencil to help them along. Or children who really strangle the pencil and hold it really hard, you may need to give them a soft grip pen. So there's a good variety of tools out there for us to use, and we've chosen our pencils for the year, and we've chosen triangular grips or triangular pencils to make it easier for them, but there are lots of different tools that you may want to choose and buy for home. So we need to make sure that they get it right from the start. So if you could please make sure that at home your child is practicing correct formations. We've got some sheets where we'll give you exactly how to form all these letters and the cues we use, like tall stick hill, short stick hill, long stick hill, short stick little hill, or tall stick ear, long stick ear, circle. So every letter of the alphabet is cued, and we've got all those available on a handout ready to go. Well, thank you very much for joining us for this session, and I hope that you use many of the other sessions that we've made for you, because a lot of the information from this session is dependent on you understanding information from other sessions. We're trying to give you a good idea of some things to do at home with your child to help them, and we'll continue to do the best we can for your child at school. Thank you.